Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope everyone is doing great. And today I want to speak to you about the danger of unforgiveness. I know a lot of people out there have faced so many things in life or so many bad things that it leads you to unforgiveness. But there are danger zone in unforgiveness. So, as God has taught us, and He said, forgive that you will be forgiven. I know that sometimes some of these things are very crucial, and some persons have done you some stuff that it looks so hard. I have listened to this particular person, and she was saying, she don't want anybody to tell her about forgiveness or to forgive, because you know what, the only person she thinks that she's going to forgive is herself. No, if you want to be forgiven, then you got to forgive the person that hurt you. And I know that sometimes it can be very detrimental. Yes, persons can hurt you to the core, that it hurt more than if you had gotten a gunshot wound or a knife cut. A lot of persons say that, when you speak word, it is wind, and you can just take it very lightly. No, it is not. Persons can do you stuff that it hurt you so bad that if you probably got a gunshot, it wouldn't have hurt so much. Because guess what? When somebody does you something that is so much detrimental, that is a life scar. It is a life scar. You may get a gunshot wound or a knife cut, and if you don't have keel-eye skin, it can actually heal, and it doesn't leave a scar. But there are some things that persons have done to other people that is really detrimental, and it's really hurting. It's really hurting, and sometimes person think that is just a look over. If you don't have the Spirit of God live inside of you, it's not a look over thing. And I know that you have some persons out there, and they have been hurting. They have been so hurting by other people, and because of that, it caused them to live in a denial world, into denial. It caused them to don't have that sort of love for anybody, and it's like they're walking around with this unforgiveness and bitterness and resentment. You may never know what some person situation of being like, and the hurt that some persons have caused them to go through. For instance, I have been watching this young man as a young boy, and before he was actually conceived in his mother's womb, he was actually willed over to the devil before he was conceived. So you see, before you come into existence, there were plans that are already set for you, and by that child came at day one of that child, that child was handed over to a witch. That child, a 1-day-old child, was married to a 60-year-old witch, because the deal was there before that child came into existence. So growing up, that child grew up, and you would have to actually listen to that video of that child, all of that childhood, all of that man childhood. It was robbed from him because of the things that his mother did. And it takes God himself to know that so many things have happened to you because of your mother, because of your parents, so many things. And that child grew up in bitterness and sadness, no love, no nothing, until the Lord decided to step in at the age of 24. That child lost his childhood. And a lot of persons that are out there are actually going through the same thing. They have lost their childhood, never been loved. Their parents treat them some sort of way, abuse. You have some of the father who molested their own daughter, their own niece. You have some people out there that have been molested by their brother, by their uncle, close relative. And so a lot of things are happening. We are living into a real world. This is a real world that we're living in. And so many persons and people can testify of some of the things that had happened to them in their childhood days, have taken away from them, and because of that they have grown up into this bitter and callous, and it's like there's no love. And that's why you wonder why some persons cannot love and the way they are bitter, because guess what? You cannot give what you don't have. If you don't have love, you cannot give love. It doesn't matter what you try. If you don't have it, you cannot give it. You can't give what you don't have. So some persons out there have not experienced any form of love. They have been abused from their childhood. That man said from 1 day old. And he has been living, he has grown up into a place where he becomes a warlock. He was a satanic, ex-satanic, I should say. He was an ex-satanic. And when you look at all of that had done to that man, it takes God for him to forgive. It takes God for you to forgive. It take God, and it doesn't take like, somebody would say, I forgive you. No, it doesn't. It have to be an inner. It have to be an inner soul. The inner soul have to recognize and know that, this is causing me pain. Because unforgiveness, it causes pain. It stir up things. It stir up anger. It stir up wrath. You really want to know if you forgive. It's just that sometimes some people say that mention the person's name and all of a sudden, like for instance, this man that has been married 60-year-old, which at 1 day old, he was saying, there was this little church that he was sent to destroy, but there was so much of God, covenant keeping people. They were praying for like 90 days, and before the 90 day, 1 day before the 90 days, he was sent to destroy this little church. And the covenant that they kept, it was for all of them to come on a daily basis, meet at a particular time, and he could not attack that church because of the covenant. But he tried to study all of those people that had joined that group, and one of the thing that they used to break the covenant was that this lady that was there, that she can see, she discern things. And when they send like a warlock to join that church, and the pastor would have thought about it, because of the offering that warlock would have sown, because it was a poor church, and the warlock woman sown like a sum of money that that the pastor have never seen before, because as he was saying that, it was like the saints was paying like a $1, like $200, not $2, $200. So it was way over them. And this get the pastor, like, you probably think that this is, this is a way out, or this is a deliverance. No, this sister that was there, that saw what was happening, and she was saying that, Pastor, I believe that we have a covenant, and we're not supposed to allow anybody to join us. And in my spirit, this pastor that came to join us is not of God. And right ahead, that woman, she and her mother had some disagreement, and she died with that sort of anger. So they were having something going, and to break that covenant, the warlock would have to remind that woman, the woman that is in the church that is seen, to remind her, and she said to her, you remind me of your mother. And that get her so angry. It get her so angry because she didn't want to have anything to do with her mother. And that's how the covenant was broken. And that's how the warlock gets to destroy that little body of people that was praying one day before the 90 days. I am saying that there is a danger zone in unforgiveness. So this morning, let us look at some of the things that can be happen. That when you really choose not to forgive, it keep you as prisoner. No, let us look at some of the things that can be happen. Unforgiveness will imprison you in your past. And I want you to listen to this very carefully. As long as you fail to forgive an offender, you are shackled to your past. As long as you fail to forgive the person that hurt you, you are held hostage. You have been shackled right then and there. And if you are shackled, you cannot go forward. Take for instance, somebody put a handcuff on your two hands and put a chain on your feet and tie you to something. You cannot move. You cannot move from where you are. So that's what unforgiveness does. It keeps you from moving forward. And if you try to deny it, it allows you to stay there. If you acknowledge that, listen, this unforgiveness, holding on to this person that hurt me so bad, it causes me to feel more pain, because every time I think about what the person have done to me, it causes me pain. So in order for you to move on, you will have to forgive this person, because guess what? This person hurt you, somebody else come and hurt you in the very same way. It's like everybody that come in your circle, you're going to feel distant, and sometimes you push away the right person because of what you have been through, because of unforgiveness. So it keep you into a place of prison, into shackle, into chain, into barriers. It keep you back from moving forward. So unforgiveness, as the word of God declared, forgive that you may be forgiven. And if you forgive men of their trespasses, then the word of God said, your heavenly Father will forgive you of what you have done. But you must forgive that person. Unforgiveness keep that pain alive. Yes, because every time that you remember, as I said before, every time you remember what the person have done to you, it's like it stir up the pain. It stir up the pain, and that's why sometimes when people say they forgive you, if you want to know if they really forgive you, you can just say something to them or do something. And you see everything start to stir up back, because guess what? It is like a sore. The outside of it is healed, but the inside have not healed. So that pain is always there, because the inside it look like it healed on the outside, but the inner part is still infected. And that's why a lot of persons that done like C-section or surgery sometimes have to go back and do a surgery, because guess what? The outside heal, but there's an infection on the inside, and that can damage the whole body, the whole demeanor, and that's unforgiveness. When you have unforgiveness, it shut down your spirit being. It shut down everything. It causes you to hate. It causes you to have bitterness. It causes you not to love your brothers and your sisters the way, because guess what? It causes you to push away the right people from you. And I'm not talking about, in this case, like marital people. I'm talking about people on a whole, whether they're in the church or out of the church. It causes you to push it, because guess what? If you have unforgiveness, you're going to look at everybody as the same. Sister Jane hurt me, so guess what? I don't trust you, because you might do the same thing as well, because that pain, that hurt is still there, and you have to get rid of it. You must get rid of that unforgiveness. It keep the pains alive. Unforgiveness never let that wound heal. Never. It cannot be. If you have unforgiveness, you cannot let go the person that hurt you. You cannot forget about the things. It's like you're so bitter, and it causes you to start to think evilous. That's what unforgiveness does. It causes you to start to think evilous, and you want to do some stuff. And I believe that today's world is because of the world, as it is full of unforgiveness. If we had more people to forgive, then we would not have so many killing. We wouldn't have so many people out there that just kill even innocent people, innocent baby, take innocent life. We wouldn't, if we have more forgiveness, people that are forgiven, then we would have a better church today. We would have a better church today, because people would acknowledge and know that we are people. We are not God. We are not angel. We are people, and people, it's gonna mess up, because guess what? We are not perfect, and the word of God declares that not one of us are good. We got to let go unforgiveness. We must let go unforgiveness. We must let go unforgiveness. Never let go. Never let the wound heal. You go through life reminding yourself of what was done to you, stirring up that pain, telling yourself what my father did to me, telling yourself what your mother did to you, telling yourself what my aunt, what my church sister, what my church brother, what this, what that, what whosoever have done to me. Stirring up the pain. Make yourself progressively angry. Have you ever looked at some people and you can see it on their face, their face expression? They have this sort of tense and stern look at their face, like you look at them and it's like you're afraid of them. Yes, that's because there's something that is there that need to be healed, that need to be delivered. Do you know that persons can be saved but not delivered? Yes, people can be saved but not delivered because of the hurt and the pain that they have been through. They hold that person that have hurt them for years and years and years and years and years, and they keep on reminding themselves, and they reminding everybody that they come across with. They tell them what my sister did, what my brother did, what my mother did, what my father did, and everybody. It's not like a testimony and you testifying, of what you have been through. It's like the hurt is there, that it's like you feel like if you don't tell somebody about it, it's like you're going to die on the inside. So everybody that you come across it, you're going to tell them what this person did to me and what that. No, you need to let it go. In order for you to move forward, you got to let it go, and you got to forgive the person. You got to forgive your mother. You got to forgive your father. You got to forgive your brothers and your sister. You got to forgive those that hurt you so you can be forgiven by God. Unforgiveness stir up that pain and making yourself progressively angry. You go through life accumulating bad feeling of what the person have done to you. And every day I pray God to help me if there's any trace of unforgiveness. And I don't want to live in denial. I don't want to live in this denial, knowing that I have my heart is not at the place, and my heart is filled with unforgiveness. But I am saying that, I forgive everybody. I don't have anybody in my heart. No, I don't want. I want to pray every day as I go through, and I want to ask God, God, purify me if there is anyone that is in my heart, because yes, I am here and I have been hurting. I have been hurting to the core by people. By even close people to me, I have been hurting to the core. But every day I pray God to help me to forgive them so that I can be forgiven. Now, think about it. What is the point of all of this? What can you benefit from unforgiveness? What is it that you benefit from unforgiveness? Unforgiveness just imprison you in the past and rob you of the joy of living. You cannot be happy. You cannot be happy. And some people are living in denial, and you see them and they look like they're happy, but deep inside they are hurting to the core, because guess what? They still have that unforgiving spirit on the inside. Don't live in denial. Get yourself at the place where you seek God and ask God to help you to let go the baggage, let go your sister, let go your brother, your mother, your father, whoever the person is. Don't live in denial. Don't deny the things that you know that is true. You know that you have that person, and every time that person's name has been mentioned, it's like you're so bitter, you're so callous. It's like you get so angry. What is the point? What do you benefit? It will keep you in prison. It will rob you of your joy. On the other hand, forgiveness opens the door and let the prisoner out. So when you let go that person, or let go of the things and whatever cause you to be so bitter and so hungry. When you let it go, you walk into freedom, and that joy, you start to see that joy because it starts from on the inside. Forgiveness, it sets you free from your past. Let it go. As soon as you forgive, you are free. You are free. You're free to work. Let me tell you, I'm not talking about showcase now. I'm not talking about showcase now, as a Christian, and people said, oh, I don't have anybody in my heart, and you're free, and you go and you moderate, and you teach Sunday school, and you preach, and you go out and you evangelize, and you go and you're missionary, and you still feeding the poor, and you still helping. And I'm not talking about the showcase. I'm not talking about the showcase, because guess what? You see, we can't hide from ourselves. We can't hide from ourselves when we can't hide from God. Because if you truly want to know that you read over and you're really free from that prison, whenever that person's name has been mentioned, whenever it's not gonna even bring that, that impact, that sort of aggression, and that sort of anger and you just wanna. It's like if somebody, remind you of something that happened. For instance, somebody hurt you, and somebody come to you and was telling you about what the person has done to you. You have a calm spirit. Your spirit just so calm. You're not gonna get into this aggression and the anger in your voice. It's like, okay, it's already gone. I know it's not 1, 2, 3 for some people, and I can tell you, I have been through the earth. Let me tell you something. I cannot allow my past to hold me hostage. I cannot allow my past or what person has done to me to keep me in prison and to keep me back from my freedom. So in order for me to do that, and you may ask me, how do I do that? I have to seek God. I have to seek God deeply. I have to go in fasting and prayer, and I have to remind myself of what the Word of God said. And that lose me. I have to keep myself in prayer. Because let me tell you something, it's not a jump over. It is not a jump over. Well, let me tell you something. You can get over it, and you must get over it. You must get over it. One of the things that unforgiveness does, it cumulative effect of remembering without forgiveness some offense done against you is that you become a bitter person. The longer you remember the offense, the more data you accumulate on it. The more you reside the memory, the more it occupies your thinking, the more it shapes your person. No, you don't want to get up every day and reminding yourself of what people have done to you and what you're going to do. You don't want to do that. You don't want to allow yourself to live in a certain way. I believe that everybody wants to be, have this joy. I believe everybody wants to have this joy. But in order for you to have this joy, you got to let go unforgiveness. Bitterness is not just a sin. It is an infection. Bitterness is not just sin, which comes from unforgiveness. It is an infection, and it will infect your whole life. Bitterness can be directly traced to failure to forgive. One of the things that unforgiveness causes is anger. And anger begins to range in you. And it can easily get out of control. Your emotion begin to run wild. You're entertaining continuing thoughts of revenge, and that's what unforgiveness does. And that's why we have so much of murder, because people entertaining the thoughts of what person have done to them. So because of that, you're seeking a way out to revenge, how to take revenge, how to hurt back the person. Even casual conversation become a forum for slander against the offender and your flesh. When you forgive, it dispels bitterness and replace it with joy, love, peace, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, self-control. That's when you forgive. Why would anybody wants to live in prison? Why would anybody would want to stay in a prison? Why would you want to stay in prison of your past? Why would you want to stuck in your past? Why? Why would anybody wants to live an accumulated bitterness that make them violate every relationship? And forgiveness will give Satan an open door. And forgiveness will give Satan an open door. And forgiveness throw the welcome mat out and invite demons in. Do you hear that? Unforgiveness throw the welcome mat out and invite the demons in. That's what unforgiveness does. Where you have unresolved bitterness and unforgiving spirit, you have give place to the devil. So you see, when you have all of those pack up, all of the things that somebody do to you and everything that you hold, it is just spread out a mat for the devil to just walk in. And it welcomes the demons to take over. It gives a place to the devil. When you have unforgiveness, you can't live a happy life. When you cannot be happy. You cannot be happy if you have bitterness in your heart. No way, it cannot. Ephesians 4 verse 26 to 27 said, "Be angry and yet do not sin. do not let the sun go down on your wrath or your anger. So, forgiveness. People living in unforgiveness for so many years, when they, especially Christian people, how can you live in an unforgiveness world? You're living in unforgiveness, but yet still you're serving God. And the Bible says you should not let the sun go down on your wrath, and you let the sun go down. How much a days, how much a month, how much a years the sun gone in and come out and go in and come out and go in, and you still have that bitterness carrying. Second Corinthians 2 verse 10 to 11. But one whom you forgive anything, I forgive also. For indeed what I have forgiven, if I have forgiven anything, I did it for your sake in the presence of Christ, so that no advantage would be taken of us by Satan. For we are not ignorant of his scheme. And that is 2 Corinthians 2 verse 10 to 11. It is no exaggeration to say that most of the ground that Satan gained in our life, it is due to unforgiveness. We are not ignorant of his scheme to move in on unforgiving attitude and destroy relationship. You can evict all the demonic trespasses by an act of forgiveness. Unforgiveness will hinder your fellowship with God. Jesus said that if you forgive men of their trespasses, of their sin against you, then your heavenly Father will forgive you. And that is coming from Mark chapter 11 and verse 25. If you do not forgive them of their sin, your Father will not forgive you of your sin. In the ongoing relationship with God, if you don't forgive others, He doesn't forgive us. So, if I am not right with you, then I am right with Him. No, you're fooling yourself. You can't be right. You're not right with your brothers and sisters. You can't be right with God. You cannot be right with God. And these are the 4 dangers of unforgiveness. It will keep you in prison. It will keep you in prison in your past. That is 1. It will open doors to Satan. It will produce bitterness and anger. And the last but not least, it will hinder you from the fellowship of God. So today, I encourage everyone, the reach of my voice, forgive, let go, and let God. It may be hurting, it may be painful, but let it go, because it will ruin your future. It will ruin your future physically, spiritually, emotionally, and every alley. It will ruin you. It will stop you, and it will block you out of heaven. So let it go. Let it go. Let go unforgiveness. Let go. It hurt, but let it go and move on. Move on. The Lord bless you today. The Lord keep you. I hope that this has been a blessing to you. Share the word with somebody. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to my channel. And leave a comment down below. Until we meet, take care of yourself Have a nice and a productive day. God bless you.